So a pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you guys. We are here at St. Andrews Southeast. Yes, this is one of our very first NNP Connect, and we want to say good evening to all the persons that are out there in the diaspora, persons watching us online. We want to say a pleasant good afternoon to each and every one of you guys. If you are not yet at the SASE, then you need to come down here. We are starting the connection with NNP and the rest of Unida Carriacou PD Martinique, knowing that we are going to be vibing each and every event like we are going to start here this evening. I am joined at this time by none other than Honorable Kate Skeeter-Lewis, our parliamentary representative for St. Andrews Northeast. Pleasant good evening to you, ma'am.
Good evening to you, Royalty, and it's definitely a pleasure to be here tonight. Of course, to support my political leader, the MP for this constituency, and of course, Team NNP as we restart our meetings under the theme NNP Connect.
And I love the connect part. Yeah, yes. We take your way and we give everything light. There was a time, honorable member, that you were a young rookie within the NNP, as we would say. But at this stage, there have been a renewed NNP, and you can consider yourself a veteran now. How is that change, or how that change has been in you have served before the transition and what you're seeing now?
It's definitely a humbling feeling to be given the opportunity by the people of St. Andrews Northeast to serve them at that level. And throughout the years, we have created a partnership that has been developed into strong friendships and relationships. And of course, starting off about 8 years ago, it was a smooth transition, as most people said, coming from a career of teaching, already understanding somewhat the public service, right, and moving into the frontline politics. There has been challenges along the way, right, but for sure a level of experience was gained, and working alongside, you see, experienced politicians and Prime Minister like Dr. Kit Mitchell, Gregory Bowen, Oliver Joseph, working alongside them gave me that level of experience and understanding of how to navigate the political arena. And as you said, I'm a little veteran now.
Yes. So that has changed, and now you are renewed to see, I mean, what we see now, develop young persons, as you said yourself, transitioning from one to the other. Having been from the constituency, you have seen your reign, and you have seen previous reigns. You have also seen reign political administration. NNP, NDC. What is the difference when it comes to St. Andrews Northeast and when NNP is in power as opposed to when NDC is in power?
Definitely a major difference from the two administrations. Yeah. And you don't have to take my word for it, but you could go down on the ground and meet the people of the constituency. Because in my engagement with them, I also asked them, how are you feeling today as compared to four years ago? Right. And they would tell you things are much tougher. Government resources are so difficult to access, and there is a level of disrespect in trying to access those resources, something that they had never had to go through when we are in the leading administration. But as I encourage them to remain strong, be resilient, don't give up. The businesses are complaining, the guys on the block, the ordinary people, single mothers, it's just difficult to make ends meet on a daily basis. And then they would bring you back to 2008, right, when this present administration was the leading administration. Yeah. And they clearly remember the difficulties. And it's even worse now than in 2008. Yeah. So there is no doubt about it. When our administration, the NNP administration, is governing this country, things are much easier, resources are easier to access. And that is why the mood is there. The people are ready for our administration to regain governance of our country.
Lovely. Yes. And a lot of persons, Kate, don't understand your constituency, and they always mention St. George's Northwest and St. Mark's as an NNP territory, and not understanding that your constituency goes way back based on my understanding,
Yes.
in terms of that constituency having always elected NNP candidates.
Yes.
So
it goes way back to 1995.
Right.
Yes, the New National Party has held on to St. Andrew Northeast for such a long time because the people understand and believes in the policies of our party. They know that our party understand the challenges they face. We relate to it. We connect with them. And we find ways to bring benefits to them. So they can always count on the New National Party for being there for them in the times of need. And that is why, over and over again, but of course it comes back to the level of representation that we bring to our people. It's a kind of grassroots representation where we stay grounded and connected to our constituents.
And when you speak about grounded,
yes, literally.
Yes. Just before we leave, one thing that you want to remind or reassure the persons of St. Andrews Northeast when it comes to your representation, your re-election, that they can be rest assured that, hello, the choice is none other again than the NNP and Kate Skeeter-Lewis.
Yes, first of all, I want to say to my dear constituents of St. Andrew Northeast that I'm truly grateful for the love, the overwhelming love and support that they have shown me throughout the years in my time as the representative. We have built a strong partnership, as I said before, a strong foundation, and I can tell them I feel very humble, but at the same time, I'm passionate about serving them. I'm happy for the opportunity, and as I put myself forward again, I ask them yet again for the support because they can guarantee that with the New National Party and Kate Lewis Peters, that strong representation will be met and they can guarantee that their needs will be dealt with.
All right. So, folks, I guess all that is needed is registration. Check the voters list. Subscribe to the NNP Facebook pages and follow the information that is credible on our pages. You can also check on Kate's speed because she's always posting. I saw you reach up to 1 million the other day. Wow. So folks, it's definitely a time where we want to connect with our people, and there is none other to do that in St. Andrews Northeast than Honorable Kate Skeeter-Lewis. So thank you so very much, and all the best as we get ready for another wonderful evening.
Thank you, and all the best to you.
All right. So, folks, we're going to continue right here. We'll be joined by other persons in a very short while. And so we'll get back in a very short while. All right, folks, so we're back and we continue here. I want to invite each and every one of you guys who are not here yet to be down at the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, where our very first meeting for 2026 NNP Connect commences. And guess what? I'm joined by one of Grenada's famous. I'm joined by Brighter Star. Brighter Star, what's up, brother?
Well, everything good for now, you know.
Can't
complain, you know.
All right.
Yeah, man.
I know you're an individual who is into youthfulness and you love youthful vibes and you watch what happens in our country. And so what would you say is the difference in terms of leadership between the New National Party and the National Democratic Congress? What would you say is the difference in terms of both leaders?
Well, basically, everybody are the people.
Right.
You understand me? So for me as a youth, as long as I know myself, you know, Miss Emily Pierre has been there for me and she's a perfect example for me to follow and the youths in my circle.
Right.
So when it comes to NDC, I don't really have no background on them, so I can't really tell you much about them.
Right.
But to me and my perspective, Emily Pierre has been a real good example for me to follow. She has been a motivator to me. You know, even when there is nobody there for me, she's been there for me. So I come here to represent Miss Emmeline Pierre today, you know?
Right.
Full 100.
Right. And I mean, you're speaking from a woman's perspective. Most persons would say, you know what? I'm a young man. I would look up to a man as my role model. But to hear you as a young man speaking about a female and looking at her to emulate, what brings that difference? Because as I said, not very young men would look to a young lady or a lady
Sure.
as their idol. So what makes that different? What strikes that difference?
Well, when you look at Miss Emmeline Pierre, she always smiles. She always smiling, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wonder if Miss Emmeline Pierre does have bad days, you know, because she always smiling.
Yeah.
So, you know, I just question myself enough time and say, well, I really admire a person who go through a lot in life.
Mm-hmm.
Even people tarnish her. People try to fight her down. You know, and had the worst thing to say about her. She always keep a smile.
Yeah.
Plus now, she's a God-fearing person. She respect the divine law of life. She respect the Most High. And try her best to set a perfect example for the youths and for her family. You know, and for the whole NNP party. So I respect a person who is God-fearing. That is one of the most respectable thing about a person, you know?
Yes, yeah.
Which she gained my trust about that.
Right.
You see it? And secondly, as me tell you, she been there for me mentally. You know what I'm saying? Spiritually also. Even enough time in life, you know, I go through my hard time and I call Miss Emma. But she's like a murder to me, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I call her and I say, she give me a motivation enough time, because if it wasn't for she, right now I would have been in prison or some kind of, in a worse situation, man. So I always give thanks to Miss Emmeline Pierre, man. Not only me, the youths in my circle.
Right.
You know?
And speaking of youthfulness, you did speak as it relates to, you know, where you could have been, right?
True.
Now, we see what is happening in Grenada right now,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And that kind of leadership that you're speaking about is what you would want to see persons up there emulating, so that our young people can, you know, be in the right direction. What would you say to young men, especially out there right now in Grenada?
Well, most of the youths, them, the advice I have for them, empower the mind. Be around the right set of people to elevate you and teach you to empower yourself. You know? Because I don't must give you a fish every day. I could teach you to fish now. So when I'm not around, you could empower yourself.
Right.
So Grenada right now, you have a lot of crime in Grenada right now. A lot of undereducated people. We have a lot of poverty. We have a lot of drugs. We have a lot of guns. We have a lot of violence in Grenada right now. And the only thing to help the citizen of Grenada right now is knowledge, empowerment of the mind, knowing good from bad.
Right.
You know? And you see, corruption is a thing. It does slow down somebody's transformation in life.
Right.
So the people of Grenada have to allow corruption. For example, it don't matter my political stance in life. If you do good, you do good.
Right.
You could be NNP or NDC.
True.
Anytime you can see good in nobody, you are corrupted. And your growth in life shall be cut off. So we have to give people who do good, and who do bad, they do bad. So let us be just.
Right. And I like that point. My takeaway from this is, you see, when you have people that just can't say watch me, thumbs up, I think something is wrong with you.
Yeah, man. Good leadership don't come to bring down. Good leadership is to elevate and uplift. Whether them is NDC or NNP. Because you come to motivate the whole of Grenada.
Right.
You obas, and that one me respect Miss Emmeline Pierre. She always motivate the youth, no matter where you're from or where you come out, Miss Emmeline Pierre is a good one. And right now, we get a chance to do something good for Grenada right now, which is Miss Emmeline Pierre as the Prime Minister right now. I cannot sit at home. I come out to work, you know. And I say, no, let me come here and go and give Miss Emmeline Pierre a strength. Because at the end of the day, if me call her Miss Emmeline Pierre, she go make something happen to me still. So I cannot sit at home and be hypocrite. I have to come here right now and give Miss Emmeline Pierre the support. And I will advise every youth from St. Andrews right now and every youth out of Grenada right now to come support Miss Emmeline Pierre and let us do something magnanimous for St. Andrews. Because nothing good now going for St. Andrews for the past few time, you know.
Right.
You know?
So, I mean, it's a call, not just in just you speaking, but you speaking a personal story. So
Yeah,
it's
man.
not just you coming here and say, oh, just vote for somebody, but I guess it is personal. And that is what is important to persons, knowing that you can go through something and that person or persons can assist you. So, brother, it is always
One Emma,
a vibe.
never two, never
One
three,
Emma.
You understand? So,
Alright. So it was a pleasure, brother. So
bless up yourself,
we are wrong,
man.
we go vibes. Yes?
Thanks, yeah?
So,
Yeah,
folks,
man.
as you heard it, Brighter Star here. We're here at St. Andrews, Southeast, and we are at the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School. Our NNP Connect 2026 has commenced. So guess what now? Get registered, check the voters list, subscribe to the NNP page, follow the different candidates. We have 9 already selected, and guess what? There is more.
This is the story of the new National Party rescue missions, always ready to rescue Grenada with resilience, courage, and unwavering leadership. Founded in the early 1980s during a time of great uncertainty, Grenada was still reeling from the aftermath of the revolution, especially the violent way it ended. Fragile and yearning for stability in 1984, leaders from across the region gathered on Union Island with the 3 existing political parties in Grenada at the time, namely the Grenada National Party, the GNP, led by Herbert Blaise, the National Democratic Party, the NDP, headed by George Brizan, and the Grenada Democratic Movement, GDM, headed by Dr. Francis Alexis. That meeting in Union Island resulted in the formation of the new National Party, the NNP. At the inaugural meeting of the newly formed NNP, Herbert Blaise was elected as the political leader, with our present leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell, appointed as the General Secretary. In December 1984, the first parliamentary general elections post-revolution were held. The new National Party won 14 of the 15 seats, and Herbert Blaise was elected Prime Minister. His vision was a united Grenada, with key pillars being economic and infrastructure development, tourism, and strong international relations. His humility and dedicated service to restore our democracy and rebuild our institutions will always be etched in our history. Internal differences between the leaders of the 3 parties that formed the NNP saw the exit of George Brizan and Dr. Francis Alexis in 1987. They subsequently formed the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, with George Brizan as the political leader and leader of the opposition in Parliament. By 1989, Dr. Mitchell became the leader of the NNP. In 1990, the NNP lost the general elections to the NDC, and Grenada was again faced with major challenges. Grenada's weak growth performance during the period 1990 to 1994 was attributed to a continuous contraction in agricultural output, which declined each year. In addition, the construction industry experienced a major contraction in 1992 due to the sharp fall in public sector investment. In 1993, output declined in the mining and quarrying, construction, and manufacturing sectors, as well as in agriculture. Gross domestic expenditure declined continuously from 117.4% of GDP in 1990 to 102.1% of GDP in 1994. By 1995, the new National Party was called upon by the people of Grenada to perform its second rescue mission under the leadership of Dr. Mitchell. The work of the NNP team and the clarion call for inclusivity during that period of service led to the party's first historic clean sweep victory in 1999. With the exceptional leadership of Dr. Mitchell, the NNP team went on to shape some of the most defining moments in our nation's history post the period of the revolution, leading the country through its darkest hours of 2 major hurricanes, Ivan and Emily, a world financial crisis, and a pandemic. Grenada suffered damages in excess of 200% of its gross domestic product, GDP, as a result of the hurricanes. Team NNP was charged with the responsibility to manage the rebuilding process in collaboration with the social partners, including the opposition. Worthy of mention are a few of the key Build Back initiatives: distribution of free material support, the reconstruction of 200 homes for vulnerable families, the negotiation of 6 housing schemes, most of which we have today: Soubise, Montrush, St. David's, Diamond, and Beausejour, rebuilding of 2 national stadiums, negotiation with the U.S. aid to build 1,200 houses, negotiations with the U.S. aid to finance the cost of homes for 150 families, cap on gas price, reduction in property taxes, provision of planting materials, fertilizers, labor support, equipment, and grant support to farmers to compensate for their lost income. Fisher folks were given grant support to repair their boats, replace engines, other equipment, and to compensate for interim loss of livelihood. The new National Party was asked by the people of Grenada to sit out the period 2008 to 2013 in the governance of the country. But by 2011-2012, the cries of yet another rescue mission were heard. In 2013, in true NNP fashion, we armed ourselves for the battle, and in 2013, we took on the fight and were victorious. From his first entry into Parliament in 1984, Dr. Mitchell's leadership became a symbol of progress, leading to 2 more historic election victories in 2013 and 2018, where the NNP won all 15 seats. A powerful testament to the unwavering trust and confidence of the Grenadian people. This era of the NNP saw heightened collaboration with our social partners to craft a homegrown structural adjustment program. The key objectives of this program were increase growth, restore fiscal and debt sustainability, strengthen the financial sector, while ensuring that social safety net programs such as the Support for Education, Empowerment and Development SEED program better targeted poor and vulnerable households, and that a targeting instrument was utilized to more objectively identify beneficiaries. During this rescue mission, Team NNP reduced unpaid claims of $100 million and had an average GDP growth rate of 5% and above consistently. The national debt was significantly reduced, moving from 108% of GDP to 57.7% before COVID-19, a drastic decrease in unemployment from over 40% to under 15%. The NNP spearheaded the construction of 2 national stadiums, expanded the cruise port to accommodate over 300,000 visitors annually, and upgraded more than 1,500 kilometers of farm roads, making life easier for our farmers and boosting agricultural production. In the realm of social progress, the NNP's legacy is undeniable. We brought clean, potable water to over 95% of households, expanded electrification to rural areas, and revolutionized telecommunications, making high-speed internet accessible to schools and homes across the nation. Education was a cornerstone of the NNP's commitment to the nation. The government awarded over 3,000 scholarships, providing access to higher education for students who would otherwise not have the opportunity. Through programs like the Imani, Empower, Project Fly, Youth Biz, Aspire, Reach, and Youth in Agriculture, the NNP empowered thousands of young people with skills training, job placement opportunities, and the chance to build a better future through scholarships and other support programs. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the NNP protected the livelihoods of thousands of Grenadians through physical measures that stabilized the economy and prioritized public health. Over 7,500 families benefited from housing initiatives, and as of June 2022, the NNP was paying pensions to 2,200 retirees with an average annual budget of $75.4 million. These victories were more than just political successes. There were endorsements of NNP's dedication to the people of Grenada. Dr. Mitchell's leadership brought about significant economic progress. Today, Grenada finds itself at another critical crossroad. The current NDC administration's mismanagement has weakened our economy, eroded key institutions, and undone much of the progress the NNP worked so tirelessly to secure. Under the NDC, serious crime and inflation are skyrocketing, the quality of healthcare deteriorating, and the people are once again bearing the brunt of poor governance. As history has shown, when Grenada calls, the NNP is always ready to respond. We stand ready to rescue, rebuild, and restore. This isn't just a mission, it's a promise. From providing water to every home, paving roads that connect communities, and supporting families with housing, to educating our youth and boosting our economy, the NNP has always been the driving force behind Grenada's greatest achievements. The NNP has always been there to rescue Grenada. We are ready to lead again. We will bring Grenada back to stability, prosperity, and unity, lifting our nation to the heights and respect it deserves. Together, we will rescue Grenada because we have done it before and we will do it again.
Thank you very much, Mr. Operator. A very pleasant good evening to everyone. And let me acknowledge before us the executive of the new National Party, especially those who will be speaking tonight in this, our meeting dubbed Connect. I also would like to take the opportunity to thank all the other people who are here, members of the party, those who have just come to listen, and of course, those who are taking us on live. We are live from right here in SAS. But as per usual, we never start or engage ourselves in any of these kinds of functions without first acknowledging that God is amongst us, and to ask on him for his mercies and his blessings and for guidance as we go through tonight's meeting. And to assist us in doing that, we have a very good friend and well-known pastor here with us, Pastor Niles. I will now call on you to please come to the podium and recognize the presence of God among us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Brother Bola. And good evening, good night to everyone. We are grateful to God for his continued goodness and mercies toward us as a nation. Let's stand for prayer. Welcome and acknowledge the presence of our Heavenly Father. Father, we are grateful, thankful, for you have brought us through many storms, many difficulties, many tough, rough situations. But through it all, you've been faithful. We thank you for the nation, Grenada, Carriacou, Martinique. We thank you for every citizen of this land. We thank you for sound and solid leadership over the years and going forward. We ask, as we connect, we ask your continued blessings and mercies upon us, that you will indeed guide and direct in every way, and what you determine and decide will always be accomplished. Even as we look ahead, we ask God for your particular blessings upon us as a people, and that as parties and this particular party do their work, you in turn will reward and grant the blessings and benefits that is well deserved. We commit everything this evening in your hands. We do so in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. And everybody say, amen. And praise the Lord. Amen. God bless everybody.
Our sincere thanks goes out to our Pastor Niles. I'd like you to remain standing as we continue with the other protocols, and I call on now Miss Lindona Roberts, one of the workers of the constituency, to come lead the national anthem. We can sing along with, oh, she's right here. Lindona, the national anthem, and then the party song.
Good night, everyone. Let's stand attention as we sing the national anthem.
We were about to pay tribute, and in comes our chairman, Dr. Mitchell. Good. So,
Hail, Grenada, land of ours, we pledge ourselves to thee. Heads, hearts, and hands in unity to reach our destiny. Ever conscious of God, being proud of our heritage. May we with faith and courage aspire, build, advance as one people, one family. God bless our nation. We all sing the party song. Don't be seated. Let's stand. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party. Faithful I will be. I will fight with all my might, working for the NNP. Oh, you can count on me, working for my party. Faithful I will be. with all my might, working for the NNP.
Please have your seat. We thank you very much, Lindona. And once again, I acknowledge the presence of our past political leader, past Prime Minister, and of course, present Chairman of the new National Party, Dr. Mitchell. If there were any other executive member, nationally or from the constituency, who came in after, I also acknowledge you. Now let us move straight into the business of tonight. As we've said, we are starting a new series of meetings. That is nothing new to NNP. We always meet the people. We always bring information to the people. We always come to the people to receive information from them likewise. Our political leader is going to be with us shortly. She had another activity to attend, so don't be worried. She'll soon be here. And of course, we want to expose tonight the silence, the total silence. Does it worry you that so many things are being done or not done? We are hearing about quietly in little corners, but there's no real report. There's no one to talk about it. And so the first speaker tonight to speak to us on the silence, the deafening silence on youth affairs, what's happening to our young people, or what is not happening, what is the government doing or not doing, is a sister who came on the scene, and she has made waves. She has made her own footpath. And of course, tonight, she's now not just caretaker, but candidate Nolene Thompson from the constituency of St. David.
You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote. Raise your hand and speak the truth. You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote. Tell them we don't put in out the green. We don't put in out the green. We don't put in.
Our chairman, the Right Honorable Dr. Keith Mitchell, my esteemed colleagues, people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, brothers and sisters, my beautiful, talented, but suffering young people of this nation. Let me start tonight by telling you about a young man I met recently on one of my constituency visits. A respectful young Grenadian, focused, disciplined, determined to build a future with his own hands. This young man was accepted to Nulo, a place where real skills are taught and real careers can begin. But here is the painful truth. He cannot commit to attend, not because he lacks interest, not because he lacks discipline, but because of circumstances no young person should have to fight just to access education. His mother is deceased. His father is a single parent working 2 jobs just to ensure that all 5 children have a roof over their heads. Every dollar in that household already has an assignment. Some mornings, his father gives him money for bus fare, when he has it. But it is not just this young man who needs to get somewhere. There are 4 other children, other needs, other sacrifices being made quietly. To attend Nulo, this young man would need to take 2 buses to get there and 2 buses to get back home every single day. That is 4 bus fares. So he tries to help himself. He does odd jobs here and there. He works when work comes. But payment takes time, and sometimes there is no payment at all. And when that happens, frustration sets in. Not because he doesn't want to go to school, but because he was given an opportunity and the system placed it just beyond his reach. Some mornings, he stands there asking himself questions no young person should ever have to ask. Do I attempt to continue this program, or do I protect my family from falling further behind? Or do I buy lunch today, or do I make sure I can get home? Too often, education loses, not because it is unimportant, but because survival comes first. That is the lived reality of many of our youth. And yet, we are told every day that our young people are the future. We are told every day that things are happening. But I am here to ask the simple question tonight: happening for whom? Because 36.8% of Grenada's young people are unemployed. That is nearly 4 out of every 10 persons under 30 who cannot find work. That is not transformation. That is not progress. That is failure. When I walk through the villages of St. David's, when I talk to students in our communities, when I see young people idle day after day, I do not see transformation. I see betrayal. Our youth are not short of talent. They are not short of ambition. They are short of skills training. Because we failed as a country to build and maintain the systems that prepare them. And let us be honest with Grenadian people tonight. We import labor not because our young people are unwilling to work, but because too many of them do not have the necessary skills training required for available jobs. That is the truth. Our youth sit idle not because they are lazy, but because they were never given a fair chance to qualify. Friends, I recently spoke with a Grenadian living in the diaspora, a skilled professional, a son of this soil. He told me he offered himself free of cost to the current Member of Parliament for St. David to help train young people in any skill center that can be made available. No salary, no contract, just service. He followed up and followed up again and again. Up to today, not a word. And now even he feels frustrated because he cannot give back to the community that raised him. We talk about diaspora engagement. We talk about patriotism. We talk about national development. But when skilled Grenadians step forward, willing to give their time and knowledge, they are ignored. That is how opportunities are lost. That is how potential is wasted. That is how frustration grows among our youth and among Grenadians abroad who still care deeply about home. And that brings me to the Anglican Skills Training Center in St. David's. The facility has been in ruins for a long time. In a world where technical skills are the gold mine of the future, our vocational school is a graveyard. And what this government has done after all the campaign promises, nothing. No new vision, no new plan, just silence while our children's potential is buried under that rubble. In today's economy, technical and vocational skills are not optional, they are essential. When a skills training center remains abandoned, it does not just represent a broken building, it represents lost opportunity, it represents untrained hands, It represents young people sitting idle, not by choice, but by circumstance. Rebuilding that center is not about politics. It is about national responsibility. Friends, we are told education is free. But free education means nothing if students cannot afford the basic tools required to learn. Right now, in T.A. Marichaud Community College, our local college, there are students enrolled in technical and vocational programs who cannot afford basic equipment, something as simple as a soldering iron. And so, what happens? Some students drop out, not because they lack ability, but because they cannot keep up without the tools. Others stay, but they are ill-equipped for the real world, graduating without hands-on experience, without confidence, and without competitiveness. So we ask ourselves, what kind of free education is that? If a young person is accepted into a program but cannot complete it properly, if they leave without the tools to succeed, then we have failed them again. That is how you build a skilled workforce. That is how you prepare young people for real jobs. And then, when they graduate and cannot find work, they are told, start your own business. But where is the support? Where is the affordable financing? Where are the business development programs that actually work? Where are the concessions for young entrepreneurs and young farmers? Every barrier remains. Every cost falls on their shoulders. And then we wonder why frustration grows. When 43%, almost half of our young people are not in education, not in employment, and not in training, that is a national emergency. When your youth employment rate is among the highest in the region, you have failed as a government. Friends, at TAMCC, workers went on strike asking for what? Fighting for wages that the government agreed to but did not honor. Asking for a 5% increase that amounts to less than $100 for some of them. Is this how we treat the people training our youth? You cannot talk about investing in young people while refusing to invest in the people who teach them. Friends, this government can find money to travel the world, but cannot find the resource to honor a modest 5% increase for educators or train, equip, and support the very generation that must carry this country forward. We are losing our best minds to brain drain, our brightest minds, our most talented young people. They're leaving. They're going to places that value them, that invest in them, that give them opportunities. Friends, youth crime is rising. Gun violence among young people has doubled since 2019. More than half of gun-related arrests involve people aged 16 to 29. Young people are turning to desperate measures. These are the things that are happening. We cannot afford to lose an entire generation, and we cannot allow this government to let it happen. Friends, our young people, again, they are not lazy. They are not lacking in ambition. They are not the problem. The problem is we have a government that makes promises it doesn't keep. A government that builds their personal brands but doesn't build vocational schools. A government that talks about youth employment while presiding over record youth unemployment. Our young people deserve better. They deserve training. They deserve careers. They deserve opportunity. They deserve a government that sees them as Grenada's future, not Grenada's forgotten. And let me say this clearly, my friends. When the NNP government returns, we will not abandon our youth. We will rebuild skills training. We will invest in vocational education. We will partner with our diaspora. We will remove barriers to opportunity. We will treat our young people like the valuable assets they are. Because our young people are not props. They are not problems. They are Grenada's greatest resource. They have waited long enough. They have been patient long enough. They have been betrayed long enough. It is time to give them what they deserve: opportunity, training, careers, and a future right here in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Thank you, and may God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and our youth.
You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote. Raise your hand and speak the truth. You're registered to vote. You're registered to vote.
Yes, we're ready to start to work. You hear it? Did you hear it? That was for us, Sister Nolin Thompson. Breaking the silence on youth. Yeah? Letting everyone know, if they had forgotten, to remind them that our youth is both the present and the future. And we have to invest in them and work with them. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sister Nolin. I hope some other people, as we are going live, are listening to what we are saying and, of course, being prepared to do something about it. But having just spoken about youth and spoken about gun violence and the crimes that we see, the majority of those who commit are between 16, as she mentioned the data, and 30. I would like us all to reflect and spend a moment of silence, remembering a youth who only recently was mothered. Yes? As far as I learned, a student of the SGU, from this very constituency, Croshu, to be exact. May we stand. May we all just stand for a moment of silence, remembering that and hoping and praying that we can see an end to such gruesome mothers. May her soul and the soul of all those that have been departed rest in peace. Thank you very much. And we want to continue to break the silence tonight. Remember, we have termed this series of meetings Connect. We want to connect with you. We want you to listen. We want you to understand. And we want you to break the silence. All of us, every one of us, has a part to play. We do have a responsibility to see the positive changes that we want happen in Grenada and to do something about it. So our next speaker will come now to break the silence on the cost of living. Something that is hurting every pocket, but something that some people only shoo-shoo in corner about. They don't want to talk loud because they are part of making it. In fact, only towards the end of last year, one famous minister said, there's no poverty in Grenada. All Grenadians are happy. They are living well. But we have a gentleman who, for various reasons, and very good ones, is breaking the silence, breaking the waves. People are almost adoring him because they are happy that he has come forward and he's going to do what is best for Grenada. St. Andrews, Southeast, and SASE, I want you to put your hands together and let us welcome Dr. Adrian Joseph as he breaks the silence on the cost of living.
The house is a symbol for the NNP party. We're going green all the way. Green, we voting green. Green, we voting green. Green, we voting green. On election day. Green.
Good night, good night, good night, St. Andrews Southeast. Good night, St. Andrews Southeast. Is there love in this house? Can I hear from you? Is there love in this house? Kitaka, there's one thing I would like to tell you guys. The next time we have in a meeting, I prefer a cordless mic. I am one of the people, and I would like to be amongst the people every time. Love in the house. My friends, they've asked me to break the silence on the cost of living in Grenada. That is not something that I expect the new National Party, nor the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique to remain silent about. So I don't have to break the silence. We know there is no silver bullet, a magic solution to this crisis, which targets especially the most vulnerable among us, we the people. The few at the top are having, excuse me, Dr. Mitchell, a damn good time, while we here at the bottom are suffering. Who can relate? The single mother, the struggling worker, the low-income household, our small and micro businesses, persons in the public service where I come from, who earn fixed income, and of course, our seniors and pensioners. St. Andrews Southeast, we're really feeling it, you know. Groceries up, light bill up, everything going up. They and all are going up because they're flying everywhere. But do you know why they want us to keep silent? Do you know what is not going up, my friends? Your salaries. To meet this atrocious cost of living that is crippling, especially the most vulnerable among us. My friends in St. Andrews Southeast, this thing is very serious, you know. And together, we must shout at every opportunity. We must not pretend it is not happening. We must not do like the others and bawl with our mouths closed. We must speak up. This is the truth, sisters and brothers. Single mothers are stretching every dollar. Farmers, fisher folks, who, by the way, have lost a significant portion of their income. Small shop owners are barely catching a break. Public officers are feeling squeezed. Seniors and pensioners are wondering how can they manage in these times. Folks, we cannot continue in that way, and that is the truth. We're in this hole because of the recklessness of this administration. Their don't caring attitude, their deficiency in governance, and the lack of leadership in addressing the concerns that affect us every day. As I've said to many of the forums that I speak at, we can sit here all night and identify the problems. They've compounded it, and the list is very long. But me, I'm a solution-oriented guy. I'm focused on finding a way out of this madness. And do you know what is the first solution? The new National Party. Friends, we must get together and build resilience, not excuses. We must strengthen national adaptation plans. We must give faster disaster grants, not a bag of promises. Disaster risk financing so recovery can be quicker and smoother, just like the way the NNP did, how we prepared for it. We must focus on agriculture by growing what we eat and eating what we grow. We must invest in food processing and add value to our products. We must reduce the imports and keep money circulating on the ground. What about energy? I had a forum, I think it was last week, Wednesday. And some of the more learned folks was explaining to me the way these people are raping our sole energy infrastructure, the Grand Lake. Grand Lake should be allowed to pass on some savings to the ordinary folks. Instead, it's just bad management and higher energy costs for each and every one of us. How many of us here can relate that we are paying much higher electricity bills when the month come? It's crazy. It is insane. We need to reform electricity charges to protect low usage households, my friends. Give me a 5. Folks, my good sister Nolene, she already spoke on the national youth training programs that we need. We need to upskill the construction sector, the agriculture sector, energy, trades. We need to retain skilled labor here in Grenada. While our nurses leave, we are bringing in nurses from Ghana and probably paying them much higher wages. My friend, that is insane. We need to revive proven initiatives that has worked before. We have showed them the game plan, but I don't understand why they are not using it. My friends in St. Andrews Southeast, we are not short on ideas, are we? No. We're not short on talent, are we? No. We're not short on resources, are we? No. We are not short on proper management, are we? So, I say to you, let NNP bring experience, new energy. This organization knows how to steady the ship because we know, we've heard, Captain, the ship is? All right. Folks, we got to keep it real. St. Andrews Southeast, we are a strong people. We are a resilient people. But resilience don't mean we must suffer. So NNP is ready to lead once again with real solutions, real management, real results. We are going to get out of this terrible hole together. And with the support of the people from St. Andrews Southeast and beyond, we will get there. Now I charge you, you must go and do the work necessary for us to get there. You must get up and fight for a better Grenada. It will not come by sitting in your homes. We must go and work, build our networks, register, vote when the time comes. But most of all, we must go forward with love in this house. Thank you. Love in the house. Blessings.
The house is a symbol for the NNP party.
Thank you very much.
Green all the way.
That was for you, Dr. Adrian Joseph. And you know something? The man is the candidate. You know for which constituency? And the boss smiling, you know. He say, I hand it over to a young and strong fella, a stallion. He start bringing out some ideas. Let's work together. You know, as you said, let's go out and do the work. That reminds me, you know, I can't sing so well. But many years ago, there's a guy from St. Andrews Northeast, actually Simon to be exact, where they're still building the cultural center? Or because I mean, it's a long time we started. Sister Kate, did you know Calypsonian Kelly? Yes, he's the brother of Molly, the Roscon lady. Yeah. So when NNP just came into office, Kelly used to be a very good Calypsonian. I can't tell you what he is now. Anything. And he sang something. It's work we want. Work the people want. And he called his sister name in the song, you know. Yeah, man. Molly says she wants some money to buy some French cut panty. What? But I tell you. So we must go out and do the work. Not for the same reason Kelly say, but for the reason that we need to transform Grenada into what it has the potential to be. Yes, we know what Grenada could be because we were there before. We know what we are capable of. Yes, and let's stop worrying with those fellas. So we're going into a new area or another area where there's heavy silence, and we need to do that. There's a gentleman among us, has been a former minister for many years. In fact, he was at one time the former opposition leader in this country. And he has had an opportunity to help transform both the agriculture and fishing sector of this country. And the silence now is deafening. Our fishermen can barely make a living now. They have to pack up their tools of trade. The other day I went to St. George's and I was trying to count the number of fishing boats, the trawler type, the big ones that go out to catch the tuna, and I lost count. And I said, look at that. Total silence. Now, I did not announce him before. I wanted it to be an element of surprise. And I want you now to put your hands together for Mr. Michael Baptiste as he comes to break the silence.
The NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them. Sing for them. They go in the wrong way. Mash up NDC. They go in the wrong way. Cannot run this country. They go in the wrong way. The leader don't listen. They go in the wrong way. So they divide it into. They lie for the people. So many things they promise they go do.
Okay.
They say $700 not enough money.
A pleasant evening to everyone. Chairman of the New National Party, Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell, the political leader of the New National Party, Sister NNP, the parliamentary arm of the New National Party, brothers and sisters, a pleasant evening to every one of you. First, let me thank Sister NNP for her invitation, extending an invitation to me to be here this evening. And when she extended that invitation, I gladly accepted it. But before I go into the issues affecting Grenada, I must pay homage to a gentleman I have seen before here today in the audience. A man who has transformed Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique. You know, they use the word transformation very loosely. I remember in 1995, when Dr. Mitchell became the leader of Grenada, what happened at the time? I hear a lot of voices talking about nothing was done. And I'm wondering, well, where there was. When we look at Grenada today, from what it was then, and a lot of folks talk about the PRG, but when the PRG left office in 1983, we had a telephone system that when you want to make a call, you had to stay up all night until you could get a dial tone. And this gentleman I'm talking about here transformed the telecommunication industry. Let's not take things for granted. We must give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. It is often said that a great leader is one who leaves his country in a better state than he met it. And if you agree with me here tonight that Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell have left Grenada in a better state than he met it, stand up and give him a hand. You know, stadium, ministerial complex, road network across Grenada, abattoir in St. Andrews, fish market in St. Andrews, bus terminal, and you know, it behoves me to ask the question, can you identify one single project that the National Democratic Congress have brought to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Matlik? You don't have to agree with him all the time, like I did sometimes. We had our share of disagreements. But when talking about somebody who have moved Grenada forward, we're talking about Dr. the Right Honorable Kit Mitchell. Are you there, Doc? Are going good? I remember in 1998, when we were forced to call elections prematurely, because at the time Dr. Fletcher had resigned and they lost the majority in the parliament. And everyone said, oh, well, that's the end of that. And brothers and sisters, the people of Grenada was so satisfied with what was happening in 3 short years, they gave him the first 15 seats. I'm saying all of this to say that the foundation have been set for economic takeoff across Grenada. When I look at the current situation in Grenada, it pains my heart. And I have to ask every one of you tonight, when you get down on your knees, say a prayer for Grenada. And let us tell President Donald Trump, Deacon Mitchell is not Grenada. If you have a problem with Deacon, come and take him like you take Mudera. Are we there? Did you hear what I say? No, you don't. No, you don't. I am saying to you, but never in the history of Grenada have we seen a small island of Grenada under so much pressure from our great ally, the United States of America. We have so much ban. I don't know where to start. We have a travel advisory warning. And none of you here today can say that Grenada is not safe. But to the people on the outside, whose citizens have been wronged in Grenada, they are speaking a different language. Now, not long ago, you recall, 3 thugs escaped legal custody. Anybody in the police custody falls under the ambit of the Minister of National Security. We can't get away from that. And they end up slaughtering 2 innocent visitors on our shows. As I stand here today, not a word from the Minister of National Security. No address to the nation. No condolences sent to the families. As a matter of fact, the goodly gentleman was in Africa having a good time. Shortly thereafter, a foreign diplomat was assaulted twice. No word again from the Minister of National Security, Deacon Mitchell. Silence deafening. So the United States of America decided to punish Grenada as a result of the negligence of Deacon Mitchell. When that diplomat was assaulted once, we have an attorney general that running all over in front of the media trying to prosecute Sheldon Scott. She should have been in the courts getting an order of protection against that individual to ensure that never again he visit the vicinity where that diplomat lives. All again falls on the shoulder of Deacon Mitchell. We have a prime minister that just don't care. An arrogant, selfish, self-centered individual who are offering Grenada showmanship instead of leadership, brothers and sisters. So we are in the Southeast today, and we are saying that the time has come when you must ensure that your parliamentary representative here come home safely, and that she become the next prime minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So much ban. We have problems in the Postal Corporation. All we hear from the big chubby fat guy did I say something wrong? Well, you know, he wasn't so chubby until the NDC get in office. Because prior to that, he used to be in Baltazar, in a little river tube in there. But since the NDC got into office, and he carrying a check from the stadium, a check from the checkbook from the Postal Corporation, he started expanding, brothers and sisters. You know, the Postal Corporation means a lot to we, the people of St. Andrews, rural Grenada. The people of Soubise used to ship their CMOS. That's gone. The people of Munich used to ship their farine. The people of St. David's used to ship their tamper and brown to the post office. Not a word today as to what's going on. And hence the reason why I'm standing here today, I am saying to you, the people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, we need to change the government. Visa restrictions. And you know, they all like to blame it on President Trump. Well, President Trump is President Trump. He won't be here with us forever. But a good leader must know how to bob and weave and not to aggravate President Trump. President Trump issued an advisory, not an advisory, President Trump issued an order on the president of Venezuela. Whether we like it or we don't like it, that is America and Venezuela business. And here comes the Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. He offering himself as interlocutor. The man became Prime Minister by accident. And all of a sudden, he wants to showcase himself as this big international guru that could solve international problems. You ever see anything like that? Brothers and sisters, and you know, it's no joke. Mr. Chairman, I didn't ask you thing. What we find? You find not talking? You find not talking too much? I don't know. Tell me, because I don't know if you bring me here tonight just to talk about fish. Is that what you do? So, he offered himself to act as interlocutor between Venezuela and Grenada business. But here's the joke. The man have a minister of finance that has been sanctioned by the United States of America. They take a visa. And the only way he could attend a World Bank meeting or IMF meeting is if they bring the meeting to Isla Roon, my brothers and sisters. But here is this joker. What's wrong with us? Are you ready Are you ready not to get a female prime minister, but to get a prime minister that can invite herself in the feelings of the have-nots, the left out, the disadvantaged, the women, the people struggling on the bottom of the economic ladder, struggling for economic justice? Are you ready to make that move? So, Deacon Mitchell, and sometimes, you know, the guy looking so innocent but so deadly. Burial pass. Destroy part of we agriculture infrastructure. And one would thought that the guy would encourage people to plant back the banana, plant back cocoa, plant back nutmeg, plant back the food. The guy before the camera telling us to plant black pepper. Could you imagine? Yeah? I don't know if he's sick, you know. I didn't listen to him, but I started listening to him recently because he's sounding like a comedian too. The last time I listened, he say, a lot of people passed away and died. When he said that, you know, you know, I have a young daughter who passed away. So I jump up and say, let me go and see if she really died. But let's stay with Deacon Mitchell. Because this is the man that's responsible for most of the problems with the United States of America that we're experiencing today. Are you there? Are you within the sound of my voice? Right. Now, America made a request to install a radar. We can't tell him whether to say yes or no. It is right to make a decision. But you're not telling the Americans yes or no. But you're going all around saying you don't want no radar because they go use radar to attack other people. Brothers and sisters, that was one of the stupidest things that I'm hearing from a leader. Keep your mouth shut. Today we are paying the price. Look what's happening to our fishing industry. You know, in 1995, Dr. Mitchell gave me the responsibility to develop the fishing industry in Grenada. And I'm very passionate about that. And I'm sure he do too. Because at the time, we were chopping fish by the roadside. When you pass through St. George's, Melville Street, you would see the heart of town, people chopping fish by the roadside. When you come to Grenville here, you would see all on the sidewalk, they're cleaning fish, go up, same thing. And we set out and developed a vibrant, lucrative fishing industry. Fish market in Melville Street. the New National Party. Fish Market in Grand Mall, the New National Party. Fish Market in St. John's, the New National Party. Fish Market in Grenville, the New National Party. And by the way, I was the minister responsible for all of that. Grenville here, we saw fishermen carrying bottles of gas across the road. They're going by the gas station and purchasing gas. And we say, no, that don't make much sense. We built a gas station for the fishermen in St. Andrews so that they could have their own gas station. They purchase gas from themselves. And today, you know what happened? They have profit sharing, real money running at the end of every year. Thanks again to the New National Party. And we did not stop there. 5 more minutes. I've been signaled by you say, you know, the honorable leader of the New National Party, the next time you're having a meeting, invite me, and just me and you, we could talk all night. So, we face a fishing ban now. It is not by accident we face the fishing ban. Because this National Democratic Congress does not understand the relationship between fishing and the rural economy. They don't understand the contribution of fishing to our national economy. In 2023, NOAA sent several correspondence to the government of Grenada, and they ignored it. And then, yes, the government of Donald Trump contacted his ambassador in Grenada, and he said, the fisheries people are not responding to our many correspondence. Carry a message to them. The ambassador went to them, and they told the ambassador they short staff. And at the time, there were two serious ministers, earning over $35,000 a month, sitting in the Ministry of Agriculture. So we go on to the fishing thing here. And I'm going to hurry up Now, the fishing community, especially those in St. John's, those in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, Bouchejou, St. George's, they're hurting. When the banana industry collapsed because of the leaf spot and the mealybug by the National Democratic Congress, and the New National Party came into office, you know what happened then? We made special arrangements for banana farmers that were shipping bananas. We paid them for 90 days for bananas that they could not ship because we recognized that they had mortgages, they had families to feed, so we assisted them. And today we're calling on the National Democratic Congress. Lend a hand to the fishermen in Carriacou and Petit Martinique. Lend a hand to the fishermen in St. John's. Those in Carriacou and Petit Martinique, they were hit by beryl, so they lost their homes, and now they're losing their livelihood, brothers and sisters. You know, I'm wrapping up. But I can't get away from here without sending a message from my very dear friend, in Northwest, St. Andrews. Say something, sister. Say something on behalf of the people of St. Andrews, whose water bills have skyrocketed. Say something on behalf of those who got disconnected and now have to pay $300 and something service charge, reconnection. Say something on behalf of small businesses in St. Andrews who have to close their doors at 7 o'clock in the evening because there is no economic activities, because the money is not reaching the ground. And you hear what's happening now. Deacon is telling small contractors that you must have the money to do the work. All because Andy Williams, he creates a parallel ministry of finance where he allows Andy Williams to write checks. So they were writing checks and handing out monies to contractors without the work done. And today, you know what happened? So, brothers and sisters, the small contractors in Grenada who used to get their little job and the money used to circulate on the bottom, used to circulate on the ground, they can stop all of that, all because of Andy. All right. You know, he forever keep reminding me of Uncle Gary. when he always come and he say, well, he pull in the mic and he say, time to go. But brothers and sisters, the NDC is not doing good on the ground. But do not fool yourself. Just because they're not doing it good on the ground, you can't beat them just so with anybody. You must organize. You must come with a plan. We must attack the issues. We must invite ourselves into the feelings of ordinary people and make sure when the time comes, we see the back. Deacon Mitchell.
The NDC administration failed in the first term, and they're begging for another one. Sing for them. Sing for them.
We heard it. We heard it. We heard it from a rural person. We heard it from a man who has been there when it was being built. From someone who stood and watched the NDC destroy what was built and what was meant to assist the poor and the ordinary. We want to thank you, Brother Baptiste. We really want to thank you for breaking the silence and for bringing it out. Friends, let's use this opportunity now to thank
Don't stop. Old people did say back long time ago, if something can break, don't fix it, leave it so. And up to this day, this I still maintain. This is why I say
that was the arrival of the political leader coming out from another very important function. We welcome you, political leader. We are happy that you can, or you have been finally able to make it here. So, Brother Baptiste, we know that you have been heard because we are going live. And we want to continue with our meeting, as we call it, Connect. Next week, Wednesday, once God spares our life, we will be at the Hermitage Government School with another of these meetings, Connect. And we really want to try and start on time next week. Friends, someone who knows the history, someone who has been part and parcel of the building, someone who has done real transformation to this country and its people, especially those that were spoken about by Brother Baptiste, those on the lower strata of the economic ladder. Someone who never failed to listen to the cry of the ordinary man or the ordinary woman, while he also listened to those in the upper echelons of the society. A man who has spent the better part of his life giving service to his country and his people. He will now come and talk to us and break the silence on the legacy of the new National Party, Dr. Kit Mitchell.
Thank you, Brother Chairman. And of course, let me recognize our dear sister, our political leader, and of course, the next Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou and P.T. Martinique. And my friends and the executive of the new National Party, and some of the persons who already have been chosen as caretakers and candidates. More announcement by the political leader will come soon. All I can tell you is that when the NNP makes its announcement on who's going to be running, I will be right there with every single candidate to ensure whatever ounce of energy and importance I have, they get it too. And let me also recognize the man in white. So Eric Matthew Gary's brother, Michael Baptiste. Brother Mike already spoke, and I want to thank you, Mike, for talking about my own contribution and to say that I understand the points you've made, and of course, and one of the things that I've always done during my period of service is to recognize Sir Eric Matthew Gary for his contribution to this country. And we must always remember those who serve us before never forget what they have done. And therefore, Mike, in that context, I accept your statements here this evening. But sisters and brothers, I am hurting. I'm hurting. I am not hurting for myself. I'm a happy man. I'm hurting for my country. Sisters and brothers, your country is in trouble. Your country is in trouble. And I think Brother Baptiste spoke to fundamental reason of why. And I think Sister Nolan mentioned to some extent that also. Is that anything in life, sisters and brothers? If you do not have a good captain, you're in trouble. Sisters and brothers, the NDC team may be bad, but the fundamental problem is the leadership of the new National Party, the National Democratic Congress, sisters and brothers. The National Democratic Congress leader, that is, is called a Mitchell. Dick Mitchell is a disaster for this country. And I'm making this point, sisters and brothers. You know, we have people leaving the prison service, escaping. We have murders occurring from since this guy's coming to office. and no solution, no solving of what is happening. Crime galore in the country, sisters and brothers. Sisters and brothers, you remember Jonty? You remember Jonty's death? What happened to that? What happened to that? Nothing. Remember our young brother, Nilon, from Brazan, my own constituency? Our young sister that just died, Sister Pierre, our leader, the next Prime Minister of the country, just came back as part of the candlelight support that they had in Crowshoe this evening. Sisters and brothers, and some of them coming and pretending that they care. Don't care about me after I dead. Care about me while I'm alive. Do things to protect me so that I would not be killed. Create a country of stability. Watch over this country's security. Make sure people are treated properly. So this crybaby thing, after you gave Nilon the biggest coffin in the world, what the hell is a coffin when I'm already dead? Your policies and your lack of concerns and your lack of empathy is creating a disaster in this country. I go around the country, and to tell you the honest truth, I come back home broken. The pain, the suffering of the mothers. My brother Adrian spoke today about that. About the mothers, single mothers in the country who don't know where to go. Christmas came and gone, you did not know. Somebody said Santa Claus was passing, when he see Grenada, he just take a left and gone. You had an independence celebration, the stadium empty. Only some flags and some things you see. Nothing of substance. Nothing of substance, sisters and brothers. Nothing. Because you have a leader of the National Democratic Congress that simply has no feelings for people. And the NDC must take responsibility for this, because I don't know how you could choose a man to lead your party who don't even care about your own supporters. Because I know some of them balling. Some of them balling, they say with their mouth closed. But that is the state of our country, sisters and brothers. That is the state, sisters and brothers, in government. When we came into government in 2013, the country was in a state. But we recognized that we couldn't keep talking about what it was. And what it is was then. We had to start to work. And how did we start to work? And that's why I'm convinced Sister Pierre and the new NNP team will do precisely what we did in 2013 to bring back Grenada, Carriacou, and Peter Martinique. What did we do, sisters and brothers? We assessed what was taking place in the country. We look at the fiscal situation. Things were bad. We had to beg Trinidad to help us to pay salaries in June of that month when we came into government in 2013. And we said, look, in planning to take the country forward, to get out from where we are,
There's some sacrifices that have to be made, and we brought all our stakeholders together, the business community. And the NNP team in the future will have to do that again. Bring everybody together, the trade unions, the organizations, sisters and brothers, and the Ministry of Finance staff, together with the government, the cabinet team. And we look at what is taking place in the country. You must look at what is happening to agriculture, because that's a fundamental productive sector. You must look at what happened to tourism. I was in a restaurant just a few days ago, and the restaurant owner told me at the first time, and that was a few days ago I'm talking about, the first time in our entire life as a restaurant owner, that the tourist season started in the middle of December and it ended in January already. Where the tourists? Where? That's a productive sector. Agriculture in trouble. Tourism in trouble. Sisters and brothers. Your manufacturing sector almost non-existent because there is no incentive. There's no soft loans as people used to get during the period of the NNP. Because you have to create your entrepreneurial class, your small business sector, to help build on the productive capacity of the people of the country. You must do that. And at the same time, sisters and brothers, as you're building the productive sector of the economy, you must deal with education, because without a fundamental education system, the country is doomed. What is happening in our education system today? All teachers are balling. They can't get supplies. They have no direction. Sisters and brothers, you heard Sister Nolan talk about TAMCC, or Premier Secondary Tertiary System of Education. I was a product of that system. I would not stand in here if I didn't get this. But they're destroying the future of our country. At the same time, you must have a proper healthcare system. You know what's happening in your hospitals, sisters and brothers. I'm not saying that when NNP and past governments were perfect. There was always problems. But the state today is dismal. Most of us as black people, we suffer with hypertension. I do to myself. I have to take my tablets. You don't have basic blood pressure tablets. You can't get that. So if you go in that high blood pressure, they have to give you injection. There's no tablets. And they tell you, give you prescription to go and buy. Sometimes you have no money. You're sitting in the hospital, sisters and brothers. I've had the experience going to visit family and friends. And the nurses and the doctors, they tell you they have little, no supplies. And like no one cares, no one listening. So your productive sector is in trouble, sisters and brothers. Your education in trouble. Your tourism in trouble, sisters and brothers. Your healthcare system in trouble. Your manufacturing. Where are we going, sisters? Where are we going? Where are we going, sisters and brothers? We're going to Dubai, UAE. Sisters and brothers. That's why I am telling you here today, sisters and brothers, that if we want to save this country and if we want to prepare a better life for our children and grandchildren, please get rid of Dick Mitchell and that NTC bunch as fast as possible. And I am ready to do everything possible to help in that exercise. Sisters and brothers, I get calls from all over the world. I get calls from all over the world. Sisters and brothers, do you remember in 2019, the World Bank and the IMF named Grenada as the best performing economy in the Caribbean? And they said the Minister of Finance was the best Minister of Finance in the Caribbean at the time. And I remember I said to the people, I was then Minister of Finance, that's not an honor for me. It was an honor to the entire cabinet of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. And that cabinet included your future Prime Minister, NNP, and some other members of the team. So in other words, we know how to we know how to take a country from a bad state with uniting our people, bringing people together, and doing what we can to build back our country. We know how to do it, sisters and brothers. That's why I'm here tonight. That's why I will be in every village in the country. I am not, as I said, almost a year and something ago, 2 years plus. I've given 40 years of service to this country. I left material wealth to leave to come here. And I've never regretted 1 minute of it. But it's sad when I see what is happening to a country which was on the move. A country that was seen as an example for small economies throughout the world. Sisters and brothers, small economies around the world. When we took Ivan, Emily, and built back our country within a year and a half, and people say, well, they can't understand how that was done. We were the prize of the region, the prize of small economies in the world. And that's why, sisters and brothers, I want to make some points here tonight on the political front. Sisters and brothers, you have an NNP party. The only how a party could govern properly, it has to have proper leadership, and you have to have a team of men and women prepared to work together to build that country. You have to have people who put the country first. Put the country first, the people of the country first, and make the necessary sacrifice to get it forward. And I want to say this. Your leadership has a responsibility in selecting the team that represents that party. And the leader and the team cannot satisfy everybody. Everybody want to run. How could everybody run? Some have to run as candidates. Some have to prepare to help after the government is elected. In fact, some people may become successful candidates, an MP, and may not necessarily be in a ministry. But some people may not run. But the leader has a right to choose people outside of the elected team to do what? To make sure we can build Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. So I beg each one and every one of us, sisters and brothers, we can hear the rumblings. Stop it. Everyone can run. Every one of us. I could be there too. But my role now is not running for anything. My role now is to support the team of the new National Party. Support my country. Support my people. And I believe, sisters and brothers, people like Brother Baptiste and others who are here tonight are patriots who want to do the same thing, to build our country, to help our people to move forward. Not the personal things, sisters and brothers. So I make a special plea here tonight. When that team is selected, sisters and brothers, every one of us must march behind that team, sisters and brothers, because it's not about the leader. It's not about any one person. It's not about individual. It's about Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique, sisters and brothers. So, friends, it's your responsibility. These guys in power, they are not interested in people. They don't even care if quarter of the people vote for them. If they could steal it, they're stealing it just to stay in power, because they never are wrong people in the first place. They travel all the time. They don't be here. So if they disappeared 70% of the time now, if you vote for them again, you ain't going to see them. In other words, sisters and brothers, these people have no interest in this country. And that's why I'm saying to you, you see that voters list? Don't play with that. These guys will pad the voters list. They will pad the voters list, sisters and brothers, with names that you have never seen. You might see all kind of names, Chung, Wong, and Wong, Ping, and you never know. You never know. Look at the list, sisters and brothers. That's not a joke. Because they know if they rely on the people who are legitimately have a right to vote, they cannot be in government after the next election. And that's why I'm urging every one of you, stop thinking that we win already. We ain't win nothing yet. We ain't win nothing yet. We win after we do the work, we check the voters list, we make sure the numbers are correct, and then all of us will celebrate that glorious victory when the new National Party is returned to office to protect the destiny of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. I love every single one of you. Let's march together with our team, NNP, sisters and brothers. Thank you and good evening.
Let us once again thank our former Prime Minister, former leader of our party, and of course, a gentleman who continued to vow that his support and guidance will always be there from behind the scenes. But let us also carry in our heart the words that he has just said to us. Do our work. It is not only our right, but it is also our responsibility to make sure that the NNP returns to office. And that could only be secured when we go out there, we check the list, we encourage the younger ones to get registered, and make sure we find our people and get them to the polling station on election day. Thank you, Dr. Mitchell, for all your advice and words of wisdom. Friends, we know who is next. We know we have run a little bit over time. And so I want us not to waste any more time. I mean, I don't know why the man wasting time. You know he had to go in Dubai or wherever. Just do the thing and go where he had to go and let us stay and build our country. I don't want to be like him. I don't want to waste time. So now it is my honor as the chair of tonight's meeting. And I want you to join with me in welcoming a glorious sister, someone we know that her heart is in the right place, and someone we can depend on to keep the faith and to stay the course and to do what is necessary to make sure we see the return of the new National Party and the delivery of our Grenadians from bondage. Let's hear it for Sister Emmeline Pierre, our political leader and next Prime Minister.
Yes, we move it. Move it. NNP, we move it. Move it. Yes, we move it. Don't stop. Don't stop. Don't stop. All people
right,
they say.
thank you so very much. We're not sticking. We're not sticking. We're not sticking. Let me say tonight a very warm welcome to the constituency of St. Andrew Southeast. Let me specially recognize tonight former political leader, former Prime Minister of Grenada, Carriacou, and P.T. Martinique, the legendary Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Claudius Mitchell. I also take the opportunity to recognize all executive members who are here, executive members, members of parliament. I want to specially recognize all of you tonight. I also want to specially recognize, I call him tonight our guest speaker. I recognize a son of the soil and someone who has served this country well. Brother Baptiste, I want to recognize you tonight. Brothers and sisters all, I greet you tonight. Very unfortunate circumstance. I feel so broken tonight, I'll be honest with you. The reason I joined you so late is because I participated in the vigil for young Alejandra Let Hippolyte. I'm not sure if many of you are aware, but this young lady was in her 3rd year working hard to become a nurse in this country. Most of you here, most of us have children. And anyone without children must know of a young person that they love and care for. So I say to you tonight, it is not just the people of the community from which she came, but I believe every single Grenadian is hurting the tragic, senseless killing of this young lady. And you know, last Saturday, I went with her father on the actual site. And when he described the circumstances, you wonder, how could a human being do something like this? But tonight I say to you, and I feel strongly about this, every single one of us in this room have a responsibility to break the silence when it comes to abuse and violence against women and girls in our society. Every single one of us have a responsibility to stand up for women and our girls in our homes, in our communities, and indeed in our nation. I say to us tonight that every single one of us have a voice that we must use to help to protect those who are vulnerable. But I want to say something I feel strongly about as well. It is not just our girls. We have a responsibility to also protect our boys. Brothers and sisters, we cannot just get emotional in these moments, but we have to ask ourselves, what more can we do as individuals? What more can we do to protect those who must be protected? Every single one of us have a responsibility. But I believe, brothers and sisters, that the biggest responsibility lies in the hands of the leadership of any country. And I can say to you that when the NNP left office in 2022, serious work was taking place. Serious work was done when it comes to protecting women and girls. As a matter of fact, under the Spotlight Initiative, numerous amendments to legislations were being discussed. And I challenge this administration to push forward with the work that the NNP has started in this regard. I challenge this administration to bring to the Parliament the revision to legislation work that would have started under the NNP, because government is a continuum and we must not take too long to continue the serious work that started under the NNP administration. I don't know for you, but the silence in this country is deafening. The silence in this country is deafening. And I say to every single one of us, we have a responsibility to stand up. We have a responsibility to speak up. And we have a responsibility to stand up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. That's our responsibility. But I say to us tonight, this silence goes beyond tragedy and the specific incident that I'm speaking about. Brothers and sisters, there is a silence in this country when we speak about national security that bothers me deeply. You see, we have a reputation. And that reputation says that Grenada is one of the safest places in the world. That's our reputation. Our reputation is that people throughout the world long to come to Grenada because of peace and stability. Brothers and sisters, there is no doubt, there is absolutely no doubt that that reputation is being threatened and questioned today. To the extent that the highest level of security advisory against this country was slapped on us some months ago. And as I said before, there's a silence that is deafening in this country. Because after this, brothers and sisters, we have not heard a serious word from the government of this country, and this is unacceptable. We have to protect. You know, people have worked hard. This reputation didn't come by chance. People have toiled. People have worked hard for this reputation. People have sacrificed their lives to protect this reputation. And I say to you tonight, we cannot sit by and watch this reputation be tarnished. So it is not a simple thing. When the United States of America slaps a level 2 advisory on Grenada, this is not a joke. This is a serious matter that our government should be addressing in a serious way. Because you know what? It has serious implications for people in the tourism sector. Brothers and sisters, you know, as much as 80% of the revenue in this country come from the service sector, and you're talking tourism. So you're talking our vendors, you're talking our workers in our hotels, the taxi drivers, the farmers, every sector in this country would be affected. But you listen to those in office, and you would believe that they are in a war with the President of the United States of America. And I say to this government, this is too much of a serious matter to be treating so trivially. And it is a matter that demands some measure of immediate action to reverse it. Brothers and sisters, what is happening in our country, we cannot sit silent and just accept it. We must get to the root of the problem. And I believe without a shadow of a doubt that the root of this problem lies in the leadership of this country. The root of the problem lies in the leadership of the country. Because we all know a fish rottens from the very head. And that is why I say to you tonight, a new National Party administration, when we return to office, would give top priority to the security of this country. We cannot afford for the labor of those who have gone before, the service of former prime ministers like Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, former commissioners of police, former police officers. We cannot afford for their work to go in vain. So we are prepared to protect this country. So that is why I say to you tonight, brothers and sisters, we will take whatever actions are necessary to maintain the reputation and to protect the livelihoods of the people of this country. This is not a simple matter. As a matter of fact, it goes beyond security, and it affects not just national security, it affects economics, the bread and butter of our very people. So brothers and sisters, we are going to ensure that the best of technology is used to prevent crime in this country. Brothers and sisters, I say to you that a serious program will be rolled out to ensure that we develop the Royal Grenada Police Force. We are going to utilize the skills and the talent of retired police officers, because I believe the strength of the police force is outside the police force. We got to strengthen. We cannot run a country where police officers are doing 5 weeks of formal training and then you expose them to the wolves. This is unacceptable. So I say to you, training and development for police officers will be a top priority under the next NNP administration. Brothers and sisters, not only this, the moral of the police, we must address this issue. The level of politics taking place in the police force is unacceptable. Brothers and sisters, when we are talking national security, we can't play political football. The country is at stake. So when you take a senior officer in the Royal Grenada Police Force, you kick that officer out and pay him for 3 years to sit down home, I say that's a criminal act in itself. We cannot trivialize the issue of crime and violence in our country. Brothers and sisters, it was said by the very Prime Minister that the problem as it relates to gun violence in this country originates as it relates to the access to guns coming through the port. And I ask the Prime Minister now, since you know that, what have you done to correct the problem? But I say to you tonight, an NNP administration will address the issue of gun violence in a serious way, not knee-jerk reactions and passing of legislations. We are going to seriously address this problem. As a matter of fact, one of our first business when we get into office would be to pull all of our stakeholders, all of our social partners together. Because I say to you tonight, the police on their own cannot seriously address the issue of crime and violence. They're crying out. As a matter of fact, a senior police officer said publicly, he said, crime and violence is not just something that criminals get up one day and decide to do. He said it. He said the level of poverty in the country has a direct impact on the issue of crime and violence. And so, brothers and sisters, the silence is not just on crime and violence. The silence is also on cost of living. When last did you hear or have you ever heard the Prime Minister of this country seriously talk about the rising cost of living? Have you? Have you ever heard him speak about the people who cannot buy basic medication? The people who cannot put food on the table? Have you heard him speak about the rising cost of electricity and the water cost that is going up? The cost of sugar, brothers and sisters, basic necessities. Have you ever heard him address these issues? Well, I say to you tonight, when the new National Party returns to office, one of the first items on the agenda will be to address the rising cost of living in this country. I say tonight, enough is enough. Enough is enough. Enough is enough on this matter. So I want to guarantee you, brothers and sisters, that we will review in a very serious way the items that are under price control. We are going to review in a very serious way the items that are VAT exempted. Brothers and sisters, we are going to go back to our policies as it relates to the reduction of electricity cost. So when we pass legislation as it relates to solar energy, giving so many people around this country an opportunity to access electricity, to access solar panels on their homes, brothers and sisters, that eliminates or reduces significantly the cost of electricity. That was NNP at work, brothers and sisters. That was NNP understanding that we must manage the cost of electricity. But furthermore, I say to you, when the new National Party decided to buy back shares in Grenlec, this was not a move that was just miscalculated. This was a seriously calculated move, understanding that when you control the shares, you control the decision-making process. And so we could have significantly reduced the cost of electricity to homeowners and businesses who are bawling today because they cannot manage the cost. What has the government been saying about this? The silence is deafening. So I say to you tonight, the new National Party, when we return to office, will immediately take action to reduce the cost of electricity that is stifling the average Grenadian. Brothers and sisters, not just that, we are going to work with the private sector as closely as possible to give the necessary support to businesses that are dying in this country, especially our small businesses. And so I say to you, get ready for the return of the new National Party. Brothers and sisters, the silence is not just deafening when it comes to cost of living, when it comes to national security. The silence is deafening even in the area of infrastructure. Some members of the team this morning met with some of our contractors and they heard it directly. Brothers and sisters, we have to address what is happening in infrastructure in this country. And at this point, I want to recognize, brothers and sisters, the new National Party administration. When we speak infrastructure development, you cannot speak about another party in this country but the new National Party. Credit to Brother Gregory Bowen, credit to Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell for the foundation that they laid. But I say to you tonight, when the NNP returns to office, we are going to continue the work that was started, the foundation that we had built, and we are going to take infrastructural development to the next level. Brothers and sisters, I say to you, get ready for the return of the new National Party. And that is why the cost of development, I say to you tonight, the cost of development does not have to be so high. So when I listen to complaints of people about our road network throughout the length and breadth of this country, the response from the government is simply this: take what you get and cool it, because that's the price of development. We say no, because there is a point at which the cost of development must not go further. It must be managed, and it has to be managed by a government that understands. So we say tonight, what is happening to night shift? What is happening to night shifts that we cannot better manage what is happening? Is it impossible to implement night shifts? Is it impossible, brothers and sisters, to better manage the flow of traffic throughout this country? Is there a proper plan? Where is it? Brothers and sisters, we cannot continue the direction, the trajectory that we are going. And that is why tonight, in the interest of time, I close by saying this. I am confident, without a shadow of a doubt, that if there is any team that could improve and correct the issues that we face today, that team is the new National Party. And so tonight I say, we are building a team of Grenadians. And I'm not just talking tonight about candidates, because candidates is just one portion of what is needed for a strong government. I say we are building a stronger team of candidates, but we are building a stronger support team around these candidates of people with experience, people with wisdom, people who are capable of working to turn this situation around. And as I always say, I'm amazed by some of the people who are coming forward to say, we want to be part of this. So where are we? Last week Tuesday, everybody got? Is there something about announcements that make it quiet? Okay, I'm not going to announce anything tonight, so don't get so quiet on me. Last week Tuesday, brothers and sisters, we launched 9 candidates. How many more we have to launch? Well, you keep in check. Brothers and sisters, I say to you, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., the NNP will launch 5 more candidates as we prepare for the next general elections. I say to you tonight, the house is solid. The house is solid. The house is solid and the pillars are stronger. And tonight I want to ask those candidates who have been launched, stand and take a bow. Those who have been launched, well, Adrian, the candidates, not the supporters of the candidate. Brothers and sisters, they are not all here, but put your hands together and recognize. And I say to you, tomorrow morning at 10 a.m., you're going to get 5 more of the solid NNP team. Our vision is simple. My vision is simple. The party's vision is simple. And I close by saying to you tonight that I am honored and I am humbled to have been given the opportunity to lead this team. I'm humbled. But our vision is simple. We are prepared to build a Grenada. We are prepared to build a Grenada for all Grenadians. A united Grenada where every single citizen, in spite of your religious affiliation, in spite of your political affiliation, can feel that they have a piece of Grenada that they can hold on to. This country belongs to all of us. And I say to you, we are rising up because we are prepared to protect Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. We are rising up because we will not be silent about the future of this country. We are rising up because Grenada deserves better. This country requires people who lead that have a heart, a real heart, a heart for people, a heart for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. So I ask you to stand with me. If you care about Grenada, stand with me. And I say to you, Grenada first, Grenada second, Grenada third, with God by our side, and we move forward as one people under God. May God bless you. May God bless Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique too. Put your hands together. Long live the new National Party. God bless you.
For your mercy never fails me. All my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head. Oh,
Let's just join hands one with another. Let's just join hands.
all my life you have been faithful. And all my life you have been so, so good. Yes, every breath that I make, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. You know I love your voice. For you have led me through the fire in darkest nights. You are close like no other. You know I've known you as a father. You know I've known you as a friend. And I have goodness of God. Oh, yeah. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so
Don't you leave as yet. We have Pastor John Braffett to give us the closing prayer. Pastor John, please.
Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. We give thanks. Good evening. Greetings. I'm going to invite you now to bow your heads as we look to the Lord and giving him thanks for this wonderful night. Our gracious and eternal Father, we humbly bow in your presence tonight, O God. We give you thanks because you're the God of the universe. You're the God of life and light. You're the God of assurance. You're the God of peace and love. And Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for this meeting. And we thank you for the way that you have helped. We thank you for the many speeches, the many words that have been spoken. May the words that have been spoken be accepted as truth and will help each and every one to make a decision that will be beneficial to this country. Lord, we ask your blessing upon this team. We ask that your holy angels will encamp around them, that you will continue to give them wisdom and understanding, O God. We ask, O Lord, that you will take them through, and we ask, O God, that you will minister health to the body, strength to the body, strength to the minds. O Lord, we thank you for helping them. Continue to give them wisdom so that they will continue to lead this country in a more positive way. We thank you for all the visitors. We thank you for providing for us. We thank you for taking us here safely, dear Father. And now, O Lord, as we are about to go to our different homes, we pray that your holy angels will encamp around us. Bring us safely to our homes. And Lord, if it's your will, you'll bring us back another time where we all can share our experiences. These favors I ask in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
Thank you, everyone. We did appreciate your presence, and we hope that you have heard something that can make you now feel to work or to work harder than you have been working before. Get home safely. Thank you, everyone.